Coming up on today's episode of Technoid, the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II has a lot of potential going into this Q2, and a lot of people are intrigued, but there is one area that Sony may have to hit if they want to make a good smartphone. The Google Pixel 4a is entering production, but will it be delayed due to the coronavirus? We're going to find out all that and more coming up on today's episode, so stay tuned. Yo, what's happening everybody? Michael here, welcome back to Technoid. Now guys, I am back from vacation. I hope you all having an excellent day. Before I get this video started, I got a couple announcements I want to talk about. Number one, if you notice the audio quality is still not as good, I really do, again guys, I really apologize. There is an issue going on with the lapel microphone not connecting to the GoPro. I will be contacting GoPro to assist me on this, and once I get that figured out, I promise you guys, audio will be coming back and it will be much better than what you're hearing. And number two, I have to be very serious with you guys because I do not talk about things like this, but I live on Staten Island and this is a big issue that's been going on for quite some time, and I will be making a video about it. I'm hopeful that I can get somebody on the show to assist me in this because this is a very sensitive topic. If you didn't see my post, it is about the St. Patrick's Day parade that happens on this island. For 6 years now, they've been denying the LGBT to march, and a lot of people are finally starting to say this is enough. And listen, I don't usually talk about things like this. I normally try to keep my opinion, my personal beliefs and things like that out of it. But when I see what's going on and the fact that I live here on this island, I can't just sit back and, not do anything about it. Now, I'm not gonna give away a lot. I am gonna have to work this out because guys, this is a very sensitive topic to talk about. But I just wanna say to the THSMB, I saw what you guys did and I am so proud of you guys for standing up and what you guys believe in, and I am so proud of you guys. I am very happy that what you guys did, and honestly, you did the right thing. So props to you guys, and to other bands that also walked out, props to that as well. You guys make us proud, and I'm glad that you all stand for love equals love. But again, all that in a separate video that will be coming later this week, and I hope I'll have the right people to join me. If not, it'll just be by myself. And again, this is not what I do, but because I live here on this island, I feel that it is an obligation to voice my opinion, my concerns, and also to give my take on it, and I hope that things do get resolved in the future. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get this video going. So story number one, let's hit it up with Sony. So a couple days ago, if you haven't seen my latest video, I talked about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II and how there is a lot of potential in this smartphone. Well, I was going through some articles and I noticed a weekly poll on GMS, or whatever the article's name is, and 18,000 people, that's quite a bit of people that voted on this poll, basically gave their thoughts on what the phone is. Now, if you look at the poll, 45% say that it is the perfect flagship, or something in the numbers. I don't have my iPad with me today, I'm running off the memory. While 42% say that it is too expensive, and that's what I want to talk about. So the pricing for this phone is not leaked, but the rumored price that apparently was leaked to the public with the European currency was 1,200 euros. Now, in American dollars, that equals out to over $1,000. And I can see why people are a little cautious on this. Now, my advice to Sony is this. If you really want to grab market share and you really want to grow your smartphone division, you're gonna have to work on that price. I'm not saying that it should be over $1,000. If you price it at $899 or even the bare $999, I could understand. But if you're gonna price it over $1,000, I'm sorry, but I don't know if I would be able to justify paying that much. Because again, I really like Sony's take on this phone. It brings back the headphone jack, has a great screen, great camera, and Sony is capable of making a great device. You have to remember, Sony has the PlayStation, they have the TV systems, they've got everything, audio and cameras. So this phone is like a collaboration of all that. And if Sony was to work on that price point, bring it in at $899, I would say $899. If you could bring it in for that price point, you might be able to snag enough market share. Because I am tempted to switch to that because my mother needs a new phone and I feel I would give her my Note 10 Plus because she likes Samsung, and I would go for Sony. But that price, I don't know. I hope Sony doesn't price it over $1,000, but if the rumor is true, there's nothing we can do. And I could just say, Sony, it was a valiant effort, but I don't think I'll switch. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, that's it for Sony. Now let's move on. Story number 2, let's talk Oppo. Now, a little while ago, I also talked about Oppo's smartwatch and how it basically just looks like an Apple Watch. Well, that was pretty much true because Oppo went on Twitter and announced they are releasing the Oppo Watch series. Yeah. I mean, seriously, is this even a phone? I'm sorry, is this even a smartwatch? Like, this literally is the reason why you can't take manufacturers outside of the United States seriously, with the exception of OnePlus. This is literally dumb. Oppo is basically taking the design of the Apple Watch and calling it theirs. They're even mimicking the OS, which it baffles me because Oppo is a good company. They make good devices. I don't understand why Chinese companies have to literally take design inputs from other successful companies. Why can't you just do your own thing and excel at that? Like Samsung and other smartphone manufacturers like LG. Why can't you just be original? Like, you have good devices, the Oppo Find X, the Oppo Nex X. You have good and unique devices. Why do you have to take designs? This is dumb. And anyone that can sit there and defend this watch, you're just as equally dumb because you know that it is a ripoff of the Apple Watch, but yet you're gonna say, oh, but it's Oppo, they are optimized for OS and they are a great Android solution. If you're really gonna justify them charging the same amount for the Apple Watch, probably for this watch, you are dumb. And there is nothing you can do about it. That's it. So that's the Apple Watch series. Next story up, let's move over to Apple. Now, as you know, in the past, Apple has been sued over the throttling of the iPhones, and you know my whole situation on that. I believe Apple should have been more open to their customers about it, and honestly, it was very sketchy when it came out, and Apple tried to back up the claim with this battery thing, saying that by throttling it, it saved battery. And I didn't really believe it, and I just thought Apple was gonna have to pay the price, and they're paying the price. Because today, if the settlement goes through, Apple will be forced to pay $500 million to users who claimed that their phones were throttled, and because Apple did not tell people. Now, honestly, this is a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because it finally makes Apple unnoticed. You can't run everything and not expect to be like upfront with your viewers. Like, you're doing it now, your audience, you're being upfront with them now, but it wasn't before when you got caught, you were able to do what you were doing. Now by doing this, you got a kick in the ass and it's hitting you right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're a $1 trillion company, so 500 million is not enough to really break you guys, but let this be a lesson, Apple. Be more up to your audience and be more vocal and give them options and resources. Stop trying to be the one pulling the strings. Let your users do what they want if they feel need. And number 2, a bad thing because I ain't getting any of that money, so. But anyway, look, I just hope that Apple learns from this and they keep moving forward, keep doing what they're doing, just be open and allow your users to customize, allow your users to make decisions on their own without you having to do it for them. That's how I feel on that. And the final story, the main story of the day, let's talk Google. So the Google Pixel 4a is entering production starting in April. Now that's all good and set because their event is coming up soon and we need to see this phone and see what it offers, but there is a problem and it's happening, and as you know, every episode I've been talking about it, the coronavirus and possibly some delays. There are some rumors that delays are possibly going to happen. Will it make the deadline? I don't know. The truth is, guys, this coronavirus, and honestly, I don't care about getting monetized or anything, demonetized. I don't care about it. I just feel that this situation is getting a lot worse. I believe that eventually there will be a cure, there will be a vaccine, but this is happening right now. This is an epidemic that's going on, and I've never seen so many people shook up and so afraid. And listen, it's affecting everybody, from the average users, average people, to tech companies, to manufacturers in China. Now it's affecting everybody. It is pretty much affecting everybody. So my advice, again, I always say, please take your safety precautions. Do not take this lightly with a grain of salt. Please just don't even worry about, oh, you have a better chance of catching this over that. just do your precautions necessary to keep yourself safe. And as for the Google story, I think that they'll be able to make the deadline, but I think they will have to be pushed back and find other ways to manufacture the phone. And we're gonna have to wait and see, because I think that they'll make the deadline, but this virus creates an obstacle for them. So we're gonna have to see how they overcome that. And that is it for today's episode of TechNoid, guys. So thank you so much for watching. It's great to be back on the internet. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, hit that like button. Comment your thoughts down below. Let me know what did you think of any of the news we heard today. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and